Hey everybody, it's been about 6 months since we last provided you with an update on the build. There were a lot of really exciting things, not only did we do the interior here, but we also installed chase lights and rear view lights and the Starlink.
So first thing was we actually left the truck in Colorado after a month-long trip out there this summer. And so that was actually when we got the truck wrapped.
Hello from Colorado Springs, Colorado. We are T-minus 1 day from leaving for Hammerdown. I'm actually picking up the truck right now. It's been at Show Car Auto Spa here in Colorado Springs. They actually wrapped the entire truck in gloss pearl white. Knowing that this thing is going to be going out on the trails in West Virginia and Colorado over the next several days, we want to make sure we are protecting the paint on the truck. So we did the same decals that Jason has on his truck on the back. We have We Guide on this side. We've got We Roam on this side. We did decals on the front two doors, decals on the hood, and then they wrapped the back bumper in black to tie everything together. These guys did such a great job. We shopped around at a couple other shops. We could really tell that Carson and the guys here at Show Car would really take ownership over the project and make sure that they were proud of it as well. Here's an example of one of the things. They actually did a little bit of a wrap on the front grille just to, again, tie everything together. We're ready to do Hammerdown 5.
I literally picked it up from the wrap shop and went to the Colorado Springs airport and picked up Ben and Casper.
Yeah.
And that was the true first shakedown of the actual truck itself. Got it stuck a couple times, got hung up on the rear diff a couple times, and those videos will be coming out shortly, so excited to kind of see how this thing got put to work.
Yeah, I mean, this late this summer, early fall was super busy, so we really didn't have a lot of time to work on the truck. And so we were kind of working on small odds and ends, like installing the chase lights and installing the Starlink, and before we could really sit with the truck for a couple months and work on the interior.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, it's been a while since we've been home. We got back from Colorado and are now getting ready for Adventure X Fest. But one of the things that we're trying to get done before we head back up to West Virginia is getting our Starlink mounted in our star mount flat conversions. We're going to install some chase lights and some new reverse lights. So the two lights are actually going to be on our Switch Pros, which is under the hood, and our satellite is going to be wired to our house battery in the camper, but the satellite is going to get mounted on the front of the truck. So I have to run a cable in the opposite direction to make sure that we can provide power all the way from the back to the front where the satellite is going to be mounted. So we successfully ran the wire from the front, the Switch Pros, for the two sets of lights, and then the Starlink power cable. So I'm gonna get a wire hide, wire it all through here. This is what will turn on and off the Starlink. I also made it so it's not affected by the master switch, so I can shut everything off and it'll stay on. And then the last thing, I installed these rear lights. They're not hooked up to the reverse, but they will be hooked up to the brake because they have a red backlight. And then I also got some chase lights, which we really needed when we were in Utah. Got this side mounted, our one chase light on this side. Got some cleanup to do, nicked it a little bit, but that's in there pretty good. And I basically lined it up perfectly with the Molly panel here. And now I just need to do the other side.
Hey, so what did you do today?
We wired in lights and the Starlink. And I'm finally done. Everything's wired up and now we can test it. We already tested it, so we know it all works. But we have reverse lights here. These are also auxiliary brake lights. They have a red backlight. So when we press on the brake, those will turn on the red backlight. And then we have these amber single pods from Diode Dynamics, and those are going to be chase lights, so we can turn those on with the Switch Pro.
You did so much today.
Did a lot today.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow we're going to mock up the cabinets with cardboard.
Yeah.
which I'm excited for.
We can see how much work you did today.
It's hot. It's hot and humid.
There's just a lot of dirt.
I know.
So let's kind of talk through the order of operations for when we actually started building out the interior of the bed. I think initially we had actually reversed where we have everything now, but we ended up switching that because of the weight. We wanted to disperse it a little bit more evenly between the driver's side and the passenger side across the entire truck.
All right, you got a lot of notes there. What have we decided?
So we have been working on a lot of different options for the back of the truck. We've gone through a lot of iterations with this because we weren't totally sure what we wanted, but then we got some really great inspiration from Rin at OK with what he's doing in the back of his truck. So basically kind of where we're at this point is we've decided on this side where I'm currently sitting, this will basically be a couch with an armrest that would go here, and it would have like chargers built into it, including a 120-volt charger, and that would then be connected to an inverter that would be kind of sitting up against the water tank side.
110 volt.
110 volt. Okay, sorry. So couch would be here, and then the seat would basically flip up so that we'd have a bunch of storage underneath. I'll make some couches or some cushions and pillows for it. And then we talked about an idea of having like a lagoon table that flips out so that we can sit and like work on our computers or play cards or something.
Yeah, like we're both, I mean, I'll be 6 inches lower, but there's enough room for probably 3 people to sit here.
Yeah, or 2 dogs.
Yeah, 2 dogs.
Yeah, but this is very comfortable with just the 2 of us right now. The other side, we have it mocked up in cardboard right now. So right now we're basically thinking that we're gonna put a fridge in this back corner, and then because the wheel well is right there, we need to basically situate it on a platform. So what we're thinking is building 2 cubbies where you have door slides so that we can just stuff other stuff down there as needed.
That might be where the inverter goes too, or the heater might go under that side. So then this side is all storage.
Yeah.
That'd actually be a better place. It's closer to the battery plugins.
True. Okay, so maybe that's where the inverter goes. So the fridge will sit up a little bit, probably like up to this mark. But what we want to do is basically make this a flat table space. So we'll have 2 big drawers here. And then over here, this will kind of be like an electrical storage cubby.
Oh, it's just to access all the electrical stuff that's like under there, basically.
Yeah, so we're kind of tweaking designs a little bit, but I think this is the general setup that we're going to use. Look what we have!
We're waiting for this one, which is really exciting because it's a Truma Vario Heat. Shout out to Dan over at Tiny Rig and the rest of the team over there. They were great and were able to help us get one of these for the back build out of our camper.
Wow, look at this.
Yeah, look at all these instructions.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
The more instructions, the better.
Instructions are great. So, and the other one is all the like exhaust tubing and the cowl that goes on the outside where the air is going to come in and out. This is just the unit. So between these 2 boxes, you have everything you need to basically just set this up like in your camper, just like this. We needed to separately get a ducting kit. So I ordered that from a supplier over in the UK and got like 20 feet of ducting or something like that. So we're set. We have everything we need now to be able to install this and put it wherever we want to put it. And that's the big decision that we'll probably need to make this weekend is where are we going to put this and how's it going to get installed.
Yay! Heat!
Are you going to miss having a fireplace?
Might miss the fireplace in part because it's just a cool vibe. But
it's a very romantic vibe.
It is very cute. But I think this is going to do a way better job of keeping us really warm when we're camping in much colder temperatures.
That's the hope.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, you've been busy.
Yeah.
While I was cleaning the garage. What did you come up with?
So we ran into an issue first and foremost, thinking about where we could put the heater and the ducting. And that in combination with trying to balance the weight in the truck, we realized that instead of having the fridge originally go behind the driver's side, we realized we needed to put the fridge on the passenger side to help balance things out. So what I did was slightly revise some of what we had initially discussed. So basically, if you're looking straight into the back, we basically flip-flopped what we had. We have the fridge here, and then putting some storage and the heater on this side. We have the battery in the back already, but we need to make sure that the inverter is pretty close. And since we have the water tank up here, we need to have the water pump close to that as well. Now we also have the couch on the left-hand side now, and we still want to have some form of a nightstand or like kind of electrical power bank so that when we charge our phones, it's all just right there. And then that'll also be like a really nice, easy step into the sleeping area, the second floor. So then as you're kind of looking like into the back of the truck towards the right, we still have the fridge. I think what will be easiest is if we just build a single platform across the wheel well so that we can have a clean and like sturdy base, and then put 2 drawers, and then just basically have this whole lower portion dedicated to the heater. So we'll put the Truma here, we'll have the ducting come through, and basically have some of the heat,
the intake
and
exhaust.
Yeah.
Or not the exhaust, but the warm air out.
Yeah, the warm air out, like those vents basically will come through here. So we'll have like a little section there. And then the exhaust is gonna go right here. And then on the couch side, we could do some nice, easy lift up sections to just have like storage we can dump a bunch of stuff in. Or we could have the drawer like I have it listed right now. And then we have the nightstand, some beautiful pillows, and then like the window and the fan. So I'm liking how this feels. And then another big consideration for us that we had talked about from the beginning was making sure that we had plenty of storage space. So anywhere we could put storage, we put it. And I think it has given us so much breathing room in the back here, and now it feels like we have a lot of space to really work with.
First thing that we had to do was do the floor plate. We got some like 11 ply birch plywood, like really hard, really dense plywood. We got some green foam insulation from Home Depot or from Lowe's. The floor was what everything was going to get mounted to.
Yeah. So we needed that to be really durable, very strong.
Well insulated, so that like towels wouldn't freeze to the floor like they did in the Tacoma.
Yep, we had that happen. Learned from that.
Yep.
This was kind of the first fab section of our build for us. So we've actually got it in 3 sections so that it's much easier to put in and take out.
What'd you say?
I'm camera ready. Okay, so I'm just gonna...
Yep. So you're just gonna set those in and just swag it.
Pound it.
Pound it.
Okay.
Good job.
Good job.
Okay, so we have the 3 panels all done. Now we need to just polyurethane them. To insulate the rest, I think what we're going to do is basically put wood panels on all the sides.
Just to create a box.
To create a box, and we'll insulate behind those panels, right, with Thinsulate. And it will also give us a place to mount like the battery, the water pump, the inverter, like up against that bulkhead.
It's a new day. We are working more on the truck. Surprise, surprise. One of the things that we're going to do today is cut a section out so that we can install a propane line for the Truma heater.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So I did this last time, right? I just cut the hole in here and added the quick disconnect. It's also got a separate shut off here, so
oh, nice.
So we can have extra safety. Like Rach said, we have to pull this panel up, and then there's an inch of insulation in there. So then we just need to cut a channel into the insulation because the Truma is going to get mounted over here on this side.
Yeah.
So while I modify the wood that's going to be on the sides, Rach is going to cut that channel.
Yep. And that's the job. Hello.
How's it going?
It is going.
You figured out a system now, yeah?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we first started, I messed up because I thought I was digging out an entire channel all the way down to the bottom of the truck bed. Then, of course, Eric explained that if I did that, then the insulation would be moving around. Duh. So I had to go back and fix my mistake, and so now I'm actually digging like the equivalent of a river channel through the insulation. So, but yes, now I have a system. I figured it out. I'm cutting down the middle first, and then I go down on each side. And now I'm starting to run out of space on this side. Alright, so I finished cutting this channel. It's not the prettiest thing, but it'll do. So now we're just gonna put the propane line in like this. So it'll sit in here.
Okay, so power board's on this side, Truma's on this side. So we have to get the power and the propane. Propane's also on the side, from this side to that side.
Does it fit?
It fits.
It's like we never did anything.
Yeah, we got the propane line over here and the power cable. So the Truma will sit right there. And yeah.
Woohoo! Glad that's done.
Okay. Next up here, we're gonna try and mount the side panels. So Rach is taking the brackets off, kind of T-nuts. They're gonna slide into the factory rail, and that's what we're gonna bolt this thing to. It'll bolt in these locations, and it'll also bolt into the floor plate with these L brackets. But we're gonna have to like drill holes into the floor plate and get nutserts in there and everything. I'm gonna hand this to you. Kind of careful splinters. So the propane hose and the electrical need to go through that hole.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, and then...
So yeah, you can line it all up, and then you gotta line up the T-nuts.
Ta-da! We have this first side panel in. It's a little tricky getting the bolts in, but so far so good.
So now I need to mark those holes so that we can drill them into the floor plate. And then we can do the other side.
Sounds good.
And then we'll call it a day. What you doing?
What am I doing? We just finished up the putting all of the wiring and the water hose on the driver's side wall. So now this is so beautiful. It's too bad it's going to be hidden by our couch because I'm very proud of how this looks. But yeah, we got a lot done today.
Yeah, we did. Good job.
Woo!
What you want to say?
We just got to wrap it up. Gosh.
There it is.
No! All right.
How did it feel picking up tools for the first time in 6 months? You were saying like...
I felt rusty today. Yeah, it's been a little bit since we worked on the truck, and so I was just kind of getting back into the groove of things today. And I think it was unfortunate that I made some mistakes right off the bat, but that also just was a good reminder to help me really get back into it and start thinking more critically about what it is I'm actually doing. So.
Yeah. I don't think you really messed up at all. Figuring stuff out like that is kind of messy anyways. So what was it? You thought that one of the nuts were a different size
yeah.
for the rail?
Yeah, but I just needed to turn it around 180 degrees. So yes, that was definitely a nice moment.
That's
Yeah, Yeah, like I said, a little rusty.
Yeah.
But
And maybe next weekend if we could build the bottom platforms for both sides, or at least one of the sides, I think that's probably realistic.
Okay.
I think we'll be in good shape, because then we can put the heater underneath, the water pump underneath. Like, we can really start building it out. Yeah, and then we'll be able to know the dimensions of the
drawers.
that we need to order.
Yeah, and we have the new fridge. Very excited about that.
It's under those towels right there. All right.
Alrighty.
Let's go make some dinner and prepare for the work week.
All right. Bye.